Was about to say I'm feeling kind of lucky, so I'm just gonna adjust this one. But yeah, it feels good knowing that everything's pretty dialed in now. Adjustments, so I bundled everything back up, tightened everything down. I doubt that's really causing that. Then you can spin the sleeve here and that'll lengthen. It's not doing the weird kind of left-right thing that it was doing. So I don't know, I mean, I feel like that would mean that it was skipping on the threads, which would be with the steering wheel, and it'd be cocked to the left, and then after a bump it'd be cocked to the right. So this bolt here was crazy bent. Kind of sketchy on bumps where it would kind of change direction. All right, so the wife's new mega cab having some steering issues. She said it was kind of sketchy on bumps where it would kind of change direction with the steering wheel, and it'd be cocked to the left, and then after a bump it'd be cocked to the right. So I don't know much about four-wheel drive or lift kits or anything, but everything seems pretty tight. However, this thing, I just loosened this, but this thing was cocked back like super far, so that angle was off. As you can see here, I loosened it up, and it should be probably swung forward like that to be matched with the other side. So I doubt that's really causing that, but I'm gonna at least fix that anyways, and then keep checking stuff. The toe, I checked, it is off almost a whole ½ inch towed in, so I'm gonna correct that and go from there. Everything looks to be in really good shape though, as far as all the ball joints go, and I got the pry bar out and was prying on stuff. Nothing seemed loose. I don't know much about these steering boxes here, but besides being a little dry, that could use some grease. Everything's tight, there's not play. So I'm not sure what unless it's just that toe making it act like that, but I think it's more of I feel like something's hanging up somewhere. Could have just been this shock, to be honest, with it being bound up like that. Oh, I think that's just a steering stabilizer. I don't know, but at least I'll start there, go for a test drive. I think I'll start there and first dial the toe in and then go for a test drive. But all this stuff is in pretty good shape. She was complaining about it for a little while now, like a week, not long after we got the truck, and I just told her that's just how big trucks drive. This bolt here was crazy bent, and the nut was real banged up. Surprised that thing came off. But yeah, that one goes right there. It wasn't very tight, so that thing being loose, I feel like could have been causing those issues, since that is pretty much the clamp on the outer tie rod. So I don't know, I mean, I feel like that would mean that it was skipping on the threads, which would be super sketchy. It doesn't look like there's any weird wear, but definitely couldn't have been good. So hopefully I got some hardware around that'll work for this, and then get that thing back in there, and then I'll adjust this toe. I'm sure I'll keep finding nice discoveries like that on this truck. Alright, I've probably been carrying this nut and bolt around for 10 plus years just to replace this thing on the wife's new truck. It's almost perfect length and size. Shoulder's a little different, but it'll get the job done. Okay, so I started adjusting the toe. I loosened up both these clamps. Then you can spin the sleeve here, and that'll lengthen or shorten the rod to the other knuckle on the passenger side. I took my bolts back out that I just tightened and removed this shock from the bracket that was mounted right here. That's all integrated together, and now I got this sleeve all loosened up, so then I can also turn this to adjust the driver's side knuckle rod length. Probably don't call these tie rods, but steering links or whatever you may call it. So yeah, I had to get this all disconnected out of the way, otherwise you wouldn't be able to make this adjustment here. And the thing is towed in a 1/2 inch, so I'm probably gonna have to go little by little on each side. It would have been nice not to have to take this off, but it's really not a big deal. But yeah, I already started lengthening this just a bit, and unfortunately probably have to go back it up and down the driveway to get everything to settle before I check the measurements again, which isn't that big of a deal. I shouldn't need to hook this stuff back up to do that, so I should just fire it up, roll it back, drive it back up here and get a good idea. It'll definitely be closer than what it was when I got started. Alright, so I was feeling pretty good on my adjustments, so I bundled everything back up, tightened everything down, and gotta go run an errand real quick and get a battery for the auxiliary battery for the toter. But I'll go run it down the highway, find some bridges, hit some good bumps, see how it feels, and then when I get back, I'll throw the toe plates on it again and see where everything settled out to be, and then if I need to make some minor adjustments again. Everything spun around pretty good and easily, so shouldn't take too long to get everything dialed in, but it should be pretty close. The only thing I'm worried about is where the steering wheel settles. With these steering boxes, I feel like you're kind of hucking Hail Marys getting the steering wheel to track straight with the front alignment. All right, just got done with the test drive. It's not doing the weird kind of left-right thing that it was doing, like something was loose or had play anymore, but just checked, and now we got about a 1/4 inch of toe out, so I went a little too far. However, the steering wheel is dead center, which is nice. So now I just got to bring each one in just a little bit. I'd prefer to have about an 1/8 inch of toe in on a truck this big with big tires like this. No more than 1/8 inch, somewhere between a 0 and an 1/8 of toe in should be pretty good. So back to making some adjustments. All right, was about to say I'm feeling kind of lucky, so I'm just going to adjust this one since it's a little easier. Just bring it in a little bit, and then I noticed that looks like the water pump is leaking here, so that's a new one. It's just typical one thing after another. Luckily they're super easy on the Cummins trucks. It's 2 bolts. It's a quick job, fairly inexpensive. It's one of the reasons why I love these trucks. It's super easy. These things are very easy to work on. But yeah, I wasn't doing that the other day. Alright, I made a minor adjustment and now the wheel is way off. So that's always cool. Yeah, I just barely adjusted that one side. And we are way cocked to the right now. So, back to the drawing board. Alright, so here's a funny truck thing that doesn't normally apply to cars. So as you can see, the diameter of this is much smaller than this. So normally if I get my toe dialed where I want it, but the wheel is off, then I will make adjustments to each side evenly until the wheel is straight. And so normally by doing that, I'll count the turns or the half turns or whatever it may be. Well, since these are different diameter rods, that changes Um, yeah, so it makes it a little bit more complicated to do, because right now I have the toe dialed in, but now I'm just trying to get the wheel centered and trying to get these things turned at an equal rate. Okay, I've done like 20 adjustments. I didn't film all of it, but finally got it in check. We're at a 16th per side towed in, and finally got the wheel straight. So now I'm going to bundle everything up and go for another test drive just to triple, quadruple check it. But steering wheel straight, and now got the toe exactly where I want it, and we're gonna be in a lot better shape than we were when we started off. So it's super crazy hot out here today. Luckily we got a little breeze, but yeah, trying to film what I can, but really just trying to knock this out. Okay, got everything buttoned up. Just looks way better under here. Everything's lined up, and just knowing that the toe's not a ½ inch out, gotta be good for the tires. They weren't getting any weird wear. Then again, we've only had the thing for about a week and a half, but who knows how long they've been driving it like that. Then again, this thing's only got 88,000 miles, so probably wasn't driven too often. But yeah, it feels good knowing that everything's pretty dialed in now, and only helped the tire wear.